Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Tier 2 season finale, round number 10. It's been one heck of a season here in Tier 2, and tonight we head to Saudi Arabia to the Corniche circuit, Jeddah, for this final round, and we have ourselves a championship battle on our hands. We have two drivers vying for the championship. We've got Freddie Rizal from Red Bull, and we've also got Major Castleman from Alpine ready to do battle around this 27-turn circuit, the most turns of any of our tracks here on the Formula One calendar, and it is going to be a battle to the death. Let's just take a quick look at we'll take a look at the constructors' standings first, and as you can see, not only do we have a battle for the driver's title, we have a battle also for the constructors, with Alpine currently 36 points ahead with this final round to go on 203 points. Red Bull chasing them hard, and then there's a bit of a gap, of course. 68 points then to Mercedes. Aston Martin languishing at the bottom, not picked up a point since, it would appear, not picked up a point since Silverstone, with only 24 points and trying to vie for not finishing in the bottom spot. Of course, it's Williams on 9 points. 27 points, 9 points behind Ferrari. So that's the constructors' standings done and dusted then. But let's take a quick look at this drivers' championship battle. At the minute, hey up. We've managed to get the wrong thing in. So let's take another look at this then. Here we go. Right there. That's it. That's it. Let's take a quick look at this this drivers' battle then. We've got Major Castleman leading the standings at the moment. 139 points. 11 points then, the gap to Freddie Rizal in P2. So 11-point gap. That means that 15 points for Major Castleman would almost secure him the title unless Freddie Rizal wins the race and gets fastest lap. That would mean that he would win the title. They'd be joint on points, and they would win the title at Red Bull because of the 3 race wins for Freddie Rizal over the course of the last 3 races at Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and of course at Italy last time out. So that is the current situation with regards to standings. Major Castleman is looking for a top 3 finish. If he finishes on the podium, he stands a chance. Anything outside of the podium, with Freddie Rizal winning the race, means that Freddie Rizal would take the championship. So it's all to play for. Very close, and we're in for an exciting finish to this season. We've only got 11 drivers in at the moment. We're about to start this qualification session, but before we jump onto the quali, let's just remind you of the track that we are racing around tonight. 6.1 kilometers, 3.8 miles, and of course, as I mentioned, 27 turns. It's a pretty flat track, if I remember rightly, the street circuit at Jeddah. Not a great deal of elevation. A little bit of elevation, it would appear, down towards turn 27. But of course, this track does have its pitfalls. We've got a few DRS zones. Let me just remember where they are as we begin the session. So 3 DRS zones. Now, the real stuff through Sector 1, once you get to Turn 4, that is a car killer. And then, of course, once you get down towards the back end, start of Sector 3, there's a car killer there as well. If you get too close to the walls, it's quite a narrow track in some places, quite wide in some others as well. But certainly, what we will have here is a battle to the death, a battle to the end around Jeddah. Right, let's jump in then and make sure that we get ourselves into qualification session. As you can see, only 11 drivers in at the moment. Hoping that we will have ourselves a few more drivers joining from Tier 3, I think. Who do we have out? We've got a Kick Sauber at the moment, so it's Mr. Titan. Mr. Titan's going to be first car out on track to start a hot lap. And I think what we'll do is we will go into onboard mode as we see the first hot lap of the evening. Down we go then, down that long home straight, down towards turn 1 into a chicane where you got turns 1, 2 and 3. You can take plenty of curb as we see Titan do there on the exit nicely. Plenty of curb, not much in terms of rumble strips there. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. This is the first of our car killer corners and also a great place for people to invalidate. Here's another one, but handled pretty well. And then we've got this section here. Again, a real big test for our drivers in terms of invalidation. Then we're off down towards the long left-hander. Some normal camber on that. That was a 32.8 in sector 1, so keen to keep our eyes. Good result for Mr. Titan last time out, if I remember rightly. Notice how close the walls are here. Mr. Titan keeping it away from the walls, though. Just about to go through the DRS zone. There, the wing wide open on this kick Sauber. And now we're down towards this. The quick left-hand turn into 6th gear, perhaps? Yeah, 6th gear. Another place you can invalidate. But seems to go a tiny little bit deep in there, but still manages to keep this a valid lap. And now it's the long run down. DRS yet again. Wing wide open all the way down to the final turn. Turn number 27. Now the chase down to the line. What kind of time are we going to see from the kick Sauber? It's going to be the 29s, I think. Yes, 29.3. That's the first of our laps. Major Castleman on his way down to the final turn. Interestingly enough, Major Castleman is on a set of medium tyres here. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Is he just going to dip into the pits? No, he's not. He is going to carry on. And it'll be a 28.5 on the medium tyre. We've then got Freddie Rizal. Rich Sebi goes fastest with a 28.1. Here comes Freddie, though. Championship challenger. Completed sector 1. He's going to find himself on the way through sector 2 now. Nicely through there. But he feels a little bit loose. So the Red Bull, probably a distinct lack of downforce for a lot of these long straights. 1 minute flat in terms of sector 2 time. Seems to be moving at high pace. Not a lot of battery left though. Applies the brakes, the battery does go up to 21%, and now it's the race down towards the line. What can Freddie produce here? Will he get himself into the 27s? He will, you know. It's a 27.7 for the Red Bull. Super stuff from him. Here comes Jay, just starting his lap. Mintoki as well, absent for a few weeks. Was leading the championship before 4 weeks out. So she's got work to do, and will want to prove a point by getting herself up into the mix with these guys battling for the title. 32.1 in terms of sector 1, so that's the quickest time we've seen in sector 1. Stays in 5th gear around that long spoon-like left-hander. Now it's down to the quick right-hander. Handled pretty well by the McLaren. 7 people in watching right now. Make sure you go and invite other people in. Let's go and see where these guys are. They should be here watching this championship battle. Get the MRL guys in. Just about keeping it valid here, Mintoki. Now the wing wide open, of course, on that run down to turn number 27. And it's a 28.2 for Mintoki to currently sat in P3. Jay is a 28.5. Let's see Sharky now. Sharky crosses the line. 28.9 for him. Fake Mano will be next, will he? No. Happy Like Pies will be next car across the line. A little bit slow this from Happy. Yeah, 29.8 for him. Wenfro. That looked like a purple sector 1 for Fake Mano. 32. Oh, I know that isn't a purple sector 1. 32-3 because we saw a 32-1 earlier on. But Gwenfro then. On his way. Hey, Kiss, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you, mate. Looking forward to this championship battle we've got on our hands tonight. A 28-8 then for the Mercedes of Gwenfro. Gets him up into P6. Fake Mano will be the next car to cross the line, and he's invalidated, actually. So we talked about plenty of places that you can invalidate around this track. Anybody on a flyer? No, nobody on a flyer right now. Fake Mano just about to start his net. Well, say about to start. He's actually only got 5% battery left, and he's cut the corner there, and he's invalidated again. So Fake Mano will no doubt make his way back into the pit lane to get some battery. So nobody on a flying lap at the minute then. How are you doing, Kiss? You good, mate? Had yourself a good Sunday evening? Oh, we have an Alpine on a lap. Sketchy Bull. Currently third in the driver's standings. Has to lift ever so slightly there, going through that one, and he will invalidate. So he'll immediately get that battery management down to none. So no input from the battery whatsoever, and he'll just recharge that, and he will go again. Major Castleman now is back out. On the soft tyre this time. Already over 3.5 tenths up through Sector 1. So Freddie with a 27.7 at the forefront of this grid so far on provisional pole. Just under 9 minutes left of this quali session. Will Major Castleman get himself up alongside Freddie on that front row? That would make for an outrageous start to this race. He's over 5.5 tenths to the good. Needs another 3.5 tenths in Sector 3 to challenge the provisional pole. Oh, definitely. It's definitely a 3, isn't it? But you'll note there aren't a lot of cars, mate. So with less cars, less chance of a safety car, I think. The race down towards the line, then it is going to be a quick time, but it's only a 27.9. So Freddie Rozelle maintains provisional pole, and Major Castleman joins him on the front row. The two championship protagonists in P1 and 2 on the grid with 8 minutes of this qualification session remaining. So I think with less cars, Kiss, I think we might see ourselves in a position where we have less safety cars. So good split this from Sketchy as well in the Alpine. As it currently stands with Sketchy down in P10. And the two Red Bulls at the forefront of this grid. Sketchy, I don't know how much practice he's done. He said he was feeling a little bit undercooked for this race tonight. And that's an invalidation right there. We knew that was going to happen. You could sense it. And that hands the advantage in the Constructors' title to Red Bull. Red Bull currently sat P1 and P2 as Rich Sebi throws down a 27.7 as well. And Sketchy's just going to go again here. Let's have a quick look at Edge, though. Edge is first car, is he, at the moment, out on track? Got to kick Sauerbads across the line. No, in comes Happy Like Pie. He's got an Alpine as well. Into the pit lane. Fake Mano on an outlap. Edge racing. Ooh, makes a little bit of contact with the wall there. A couple of slow cars going around the long left-hander in a Ferrari and a Red Bull. Put the wrong tyres on for the second lap, says Freddie. Ooh. Solid line 2.5, yeah. Under over the 2.5 safety cars. Jay starts himself a fresh lap in the V-carb, but here comes Edge then, down towards the final turn. Gets contact with that wall though on the exit. That'll steal a couple of tenths from him. It will mean a 29. 29.2, so slowest of the cars so far by just under 1/100th of a second to Mr. Titan. Sketchy Bull invalidated. Fake Mano invalidated as well. Rich Sebi will be probably coming back into the pits. Jay is starting. And he's over a second down. So, I don't know what Jay's been doing there. Maybe he was just saving some battery for use in a different part of this track. Seems to be going quite slow though. Again, more contact with the wall. Yeah, definitely going slow. Edge on his way back in. Fake Mano. No fuel in this V-carb. That will be a problem. So, looks like we've got a little bit of a lack of action out on the track at this particular moment in time. I've come up against JT. I mean, Colts. Obviously, I'm a Colts fan. But I'm up against JT in the semi-final of my fantasy league. And it looks like I might lose based around JT stacking 3 touchdowns and 200 plus yards. Absolute nightmare. And to be fair, the Colts almost threw it away. Right, Freddie's out on a lap. Should we jump on with Freddie? And he's invalidated off the front foot, off the back. Mintoki, she's out on her second run. Sketchy Bull hates this track. There are many opportunities to invalidate Sketchy, that is for sure. A little bit of a ride of the curb there for Mintoki. She clips that wall on the outside. That may well have cost time. We saw a purple Sector 1. Whether or not it is a purple Sector 1. 2.5 tenths up Mintoki. That gets her into the 27s, though. So can she find a little bit more time? 3.5 minutes left of this qualification session. Then a short quali session here at MRL, of course. No, that wasn't on my bingo card either, my friend. Here she comes then. The race down to the line. Can she trouble the front two? Can she split the Red Bulls? No, she can't. Up into P3, though, relegating Major Castleman down into P4. So the championship takes another twist. The championship leader by 11 points, Major Castleman, needs to finish third or better tonight to secure the title, potentially secure the title. If Freddie Rozelle wins the race and gets fastest lap, and Major Castleman finishes third, they'll tie on points, and it will be down to number of race victories. And Freddie Rozelle holds the advantage there with 3 race wins to Major Castleman's 1 so far this season. So Mintoki's done. Freddie and Rich Sebi need to get themselves out. There is that little buffer as well for Freddie. He's got Rich Sebi between himself and Major Castleman. As it currently stands, we would see a Red Bull front row lockout. And if the race follows suit, which we know it won't, there will be changes in the position of these drivers, of course. First lap could be crucial, though. Who can get a faster start off the line? And whatever happens in the race, it will all, of course, be provisional in terms of the result. Because any shenanigans, the stewards will want to take a look at. Mintoki's gone for another lap. Everybody's on an out lap now. Got 1 minute, 20 seconds to get themselves round. So the 2 Mercedes won't be wanting to hang around too much. So Mintoki is the car that will cross the line next. More than a tenth to the good as well, Mintoki. Can she get herself onto that front row? Can she disrupt the Red Bull charge? So we will jump on there shortly. Let's just take a quick look at those constructor standings again. So it's 36 points. 36 points, the gap between Alpine and Red Bull. So those of you who are good at mathematics, please make sure you stick around because I'm going to need your help a little bit later on during this race. As we try and figure out who will be winning. The two Mercedes will cross the line. Mintoki goes fastest, 27.6 for the McLaren. Next car to cross the line will be Major Castleman. Major Castleman makes an improvement. Just under 1.5 tenths. So at the minute, that would get him in between the two Red Bulls. He'd split the two Red Bulls. Needs a little bit now, though. Oh. Didn't improve enough. It's a 7.84. So did improve, but 400s behind Rich Sebi. So didn't quite get to splitting the two Red Bulls. Who's next across the line? Oh, we've got a V-Carb who's in trouble. Looks like it might be Fake Mano. Oh, no, it's a Red Bull. It was Rich Sebi getting himself into the pits. Here comes Fake Mano crossing the line now. Doesn't go any quicker. Sketchy Bull is invalidated. He's done. He will start last. Jay's retired from the session. Here comes Freddie Rozelle then. Can Freddie get himself back into pole position? He can with a 27.5 by just under a tenth. Gwenfro racing down towards the line will not trouble the scorers, so to speak. Edge connects with the wall as well, so it will be Freddie Rozelle, the man in the Red Bull who's chasing down Major Castleman, currently sat on the second row in the Alpine. Freddie Rozelle will start this Grand Prix on pole position. Jason, good evening to you. I hope you're doing very well, sir. Freddie Rozelle in the Red Bull starts the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at Jeddah on pole position to try and claim this championship and wrestle it out of the hands of the Alpine of Major Castleman. And this, the final round for Tier 2 at Jeddah. Here we go. Confirmation then of the 12 drivers that we've got by 700ths of a second. Freddie Rozelle takes pole position in the Red Bull. Then, joining him on the front row, it is Mintoki looking to disrupt this championship charge. In the McLaren, just over a tenth and a half way, it's Rich Sebi in P3, P4. The leader of the championship, Major Castleman. Then it's Gwenfro in the Mercedes P5. Jay, P6 in the V-Carb. The two Kick Sauers flying in formation. Happy Like Pies and Mr. Titan in 7 and 8. 9, it's Sharky. Edge in 10. Fake Mano in 11. And Sketchy Bull. No time set for the Alpine. He will start at the back of this 12-car grid. Rich bottled it on his last lap. Unfortunate, Rich. Dear. So there we go. We're waiting then for the drivers to sort out their strategies right now. Interesting to see what kind of strategies people come up with. I would imagine it would be a medium to hard strat. I don't know whether there's too much value in the soft tyre here at Jeddah. But as we've seen, there's always value in the hard compound tyre. really does wear very, very slowly. Oh, dear. Let's have a quick look, see what's happening. Not long to go then, ladies and gentlemen, before lights out. Not many supporters on that top. You can see the top tier there with what? We've got 6 or 7 people up on that top tier waving their arms around. Very excited for the start of this Tier 2 Championship finale. Of course, as it currently stands, all the cars are on the grid. And you'll see it's a very quiet pit lane because all the engineers and mechanics will be out on the grid with our drivers, with those cars getting ready for the start of this, the final round, round number 10 at Jeddah. And here we go then. We are ready to rock and roll for Tier 2's finale here at Jeddah. It's lights out, which means it's showtime in Tier 2 for the final time this season. And we have got shenanigans going on. Freddie Rozelle is dropping like a stone. He is suffering from screen freeze and sits in last position now. Major Castleman up from P4 into P2. And Mintoki, what a start from the McLaren. 1.1's 1.2 seconds down the road already. That is an incredible start by Mintoki. Major Castleman then in P2. Gwenfro P3. Rich Sebi in the Red Bull P4. But the real big story here is Freddie Rozelle started on pole and by the end of Sector 1 was in 12th position. Screen freezers breaking all over the place and he is still struggling. You see this Red Bull, this is the real story. Look at this. He has got problems with connectivity and that means the championship will go to Major Castleman because there's not too much you can do to recover from this. Unbelievable this for Freddie Rozelle. What an absolute turn of events. Into the pit. And Freddie Rozelle has left the session. The car has DNF'd. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, Freddie Rozelle DNFs. And what promised to be an absolute spectacle has turned into disappointment for Red Bull. Freddie Rozelle is out. It's a virtual safety car, which means Major Castleman in that Alpine is the world champion in Tier 2. What a disappointment. We were looking forward to a great battle between the Alpine and the Red Bull, but the game looks like it's disconnected and DNF'd and retired Freddie Rozelle on lap number 1. How disappointing. Still VSC. Freddie, that is incredible, my friend. Absolutely incredible. What on earth happened there? That is just pain, man. I am so sorry. I was so looking forward to calling the action tonight. I was thinking we were going to have ourselves one heck of a battle, but it's all gone to riches to rags. Mr. Testarossa calls sabotage. Jack can't believe it. Pain, says MRK. Unbelievable. So we're still in the virtual safety car conditions then. Mintoki DRS is enabled again now, so Major Castleman will be looking to try and finish this season with a win, battling out with Mintoki. I won't be joining in F1, Jamie. I'm in the middle of a commentary, sir. I don't really know what to say, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so terribly disappointed. I thought we were going to get ourselves one heck of a battle on our hands. As it happens, with the retirement of Freddie, it now leaves the door open. We've got our world champion, of course, in Major Castleman, but it leaves the door open. Oh, as Happy Light Pies gets all out of shape there. And we'll try and see a car squeezing down the inside in Sketchy Bull, down towards this long left-hander then. Look, that 5 cars, nose to tail, in this battle for P4. Happy Like Pie, Sketchy Bull, Edge, Fake Mano, and Jace. Rich Sebi is out as well, and we've got ourselves a full safety car. The wheels have fallen off, literally, for the Red Bulls. And Rich Sebi, I talked about the car killer corner at turn number 4, and Rich Sebi probably has hit the wall on the inside of turn 4. That means one of his wheels has popped off, and both Red Bulls are out. So not only do we now not have a title fight for the Drivers' Championship, we also don't have a title fight for the Constructors either. We didn't anyway with Freddie Rizal leaving. But both Rich Sebi and Freddie Rizal DNFing in the first 3 laps of this 25-lap race. Unbelievable. Yeah, Rich Sebi, I'm assuming you hit the inside corner there at turn number 4, which, of course, removed your front left from your car, I would assume. But yeah, wow. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick look then. We've not even had an opportunity to take a look at some of the strategies. Medium tyres then for the top 6 runners who all stay out. And then Fake Mano, Sketchy Bull, Sharky, and Titan all dipping into the pits. They've all got the hard tyre compound on now. Put on the hards, they last forever, says Testarossa. They do indeed, sir. They do indeed. What an anti-climax, though, here at Jeddah. What an anti-climax. First safety car of the evening then on lap number 4. But the real big talking point and the real big story here is Freddie Rizal DNFing on lap number 1 due to computer issues, which means that Major Castleman in the Alpine will be our Tier 2 world champion and will no doubt find himself up in Tier 1. This being the last race, of course, of Season 12. Season 13, he will no doubt find himself up in Tier 1. Double pain for Red Bull. MRK, absolutely. What an absolute nightmare for Red Bull tonight. Anticlimactic, painful, call it what you will. But this is, yeah, not good. And again, you know, game glitch, game problem is what seems to have cost us there. And, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So a whole host of cars now dipping into the pit lane. Some of the guys who decided to stay out on the mediums have just come in to ditch the medium compound tyre and throw the hards on. 4 guys have stayed out, though. Mintoki, she stayed out. Major Castleman, Gwenfro, and Happy Like Pies all stayed out on the medium compound tyre. We will probably get going again as Jay and Edge come out of the pits. We'll probably get going again on lap number 6. They'll be able to catch up to the back of this pack pretty quick. But terrible stuff. Terrible start this for Red Bull. Not the way we wanted the season to end, but there's not a great deal we can do about it. This is it, and it's done and dusted, isn't it? Major Castleman, world champion. Alpine Constructors champions here in Tier 2. But hopefully we still get some good racing action. Looking forward to seeing the battle between Mintoki and Major Castleman. Mintoki obviously has missed the last 4 races. So I don't know whether she will find herself with a ban going into Season 13. I don't know what the... there's a piece of car on the track there. Whose is that? Whose is that? Let's have a quick look. Does it belong to Fake Mano? Belong to Sharky. I didn't see any particular colour on that. Safety car will indeed come in this lap. Yeah, so I don't know who that M plate belongs to. Obviously belongs to somebody. But what we'll do is, on this safety car restart, we will jump on board with Major Castleman to see what he can do to challenge Mintoki. She'll be looking to defend for her life. No ban was a freebie to miss for all drivers. Oh, okay. Oh, of course. Yes. As Mintoki gets us going again then, and Major Castleman will be chasing behind. It's looking like Sketchy Bull was the car with the damage as he goes into the pit lane. But Mintoki leads us away then on lap 6 of 25 here at Jeddah. Through Sector 1, Major Castleman will have Gwenfro happy like pies for company. Jay makes a move. Let's just check in with Jay then. Out of turn number 2 and 3. Goes off track there. Will have picked up a substantial warning, no doubt. The V-Card man. That is absolutely diabolical, says Freddie. Yeah. And Sketchy Bull's had to go and throw those medium compound tyres on. Which, of course, means that he will have to come into the pit lane again later on in this race. But at the moment, he will be picking up 10 points. Some points. Being in P10. To be fair, with 12 drivers, everybody would have picked up a point tonight. It would have been what Punji refers to as an Oprah race. You get a point. You get a point. You get a point. You get a point. So Major Castleman has managed to drop Gwenfro then. You'll see in the distance, he has got Happy Like Pies for company as they go down towards turn number 27. And it is Happy Like Pies 2 seconds off the back of the Alpine of Major Castleman that takes up P3. The DRS, of course, will open Major Castleman's fastest lap of the race with a 31.3. DRS will be enabled now. So no DRS there down that long home straight on this lap number 1 until we get to Sector 2 when we get DRS, the double dose of DRS in Sectors 2 and 3. But Major Castleman then on the chase, looking to hunt down the Alpine of Mintoki. Mintoki showed some fabulous pace across the first 4 or 5 races of this season. Mintoki, as it currently stands, of course, will jump ahead of Sketchy Bull to take the 3rd place in this championship. Sketchy Bull's controller turned off. Brilliant. Nothing like it. Gwenfro takes up P3 from Happy Like Pies. This looks like a good tussle. So I think we'll have a tussle for the win between Mintoki and Major Castleman. And then we've got a 4 or 5 car battle here for the final step on this podium. Sharky very close to the rear of Happy Like Pies and Jay not too far back. Edge, 2.2 seconds. The Mercedes has dropped off the back of the V-Carb of Jay. It'll be interesting to see the battle. Fake Mano's the first of our drivers with a penalty, by the way. He's got 3 seconds, so that will hamper his ability to compete for that 3rd step of the podium. He'll race down towards turn number 1. Major Castleman now a little bit closer than he has been to the rear of Mintoki over the course of these last couple of laps. Mr. Titan's the 2nd driver to pick up a penalty for his interpretation of the track limits here at Jeddah. Plenty of problems at Jeddah when it comes to track limits. We talked about it during qualification. We saw lots of mistakes from plenty of different drivers. But, yeah. Penalties may well decide who wins this race and who finishes on the podium. That gap between Major Castleman and Gwenfro growing all the time. Of course, as Major Castleman stays in the DRS of Mintoki, he will extend the gap back to that Mercedes in P3. Fake Mano P4, Happy Like Pies in P5, Sharky P6, J P7. And then we've got that 2.6 second gap back now to Mr. Titan, who's overtaken Edge, relegating Edge back down to P9. And then Sketchy Bull Let's give Sketchy a little bit of airtime here. He's just starting Sector 2 as everybody else is starting Sector 3. And Major Castleman looking to make a move. Is he down into turn number 27? No. Stays behind. But yeah, Sketchy Bull just focusing now on trying to take those as far as he can. Major Castleman does into turn 1 indeed get the lead of this race over Mintoki in the McLaren. Interesting lighting there as we go through the middle of Sector 1, one of the more challenging parts of the track. Quickest lap belongs to Sketchy with a 1:31 flat. We're about to cross that DRS zone again. Let's just have a quick double check on battery. Yeah, plenty of battery there. Oh, contact with the wall for Mintoki. That's going to extend that gap to a point where she won't be able to catch down here. Might be able to get close enough in the third sector to make a challenge down into turn 27. But again, with half a second between the two, perhaps a little bit too far back. Definitely too far back, because that still just under half a second now down towards that final turn. Fate Mano makes a move on Gwenfro. Looking from the rear wing, it does look like before rear wing is open, Gwenfro managed to get himself back out in front of Fate Mano and cements that move. Oh, but down low into that first turn goes Gwenfro, down low and too deep. Which means that Fate Mano does get a good run, but unable to make anything stick. Looks like a little bit of a lack of traction. Sketchy improves on his own fastest lap. Major Castleman then picks up a 3-second penalty. Another new dynamic to this race, as Major Castleman, the world champion of course now, 3-second penalty, but he does have Mintoki for company. She will be delighted with the mistake there from Major Castleman, and it will just now be about making sure that she doesn't make any mistakes as well, so that she can take this race win. She will want to do it on track, of course. Major Castleman does have a job on his hands now, though, trying to find 3 seconds. As we can see, the overspeed here that we'll get with under 3/10 gap. This is the slingshot, burning some battery as well, getting the job done way before turn number 27. And Major Castleman relegated into P2. P3 now. It's Gwenfro, gets himself ahead of Fate Mano again. And Fate Mano now will race down towards the DRS point. And the rear wing will open on the V-carb. We'll see him looking to make a move on the inside going into turn 1. That will get done again. And again, plenty of time done. Mintoki's called it a day on the medium tyre. So she's going to dip in and throw the hard tyre on and try and see how powerful this undercut is. Let's just have a quick look at time to leader then as she comes out the pit lane. And it's only a 17-second gap. So you don't lose a great deal of time here in the pit lane. But will Major Castleman react? Oh, out of shape though. Out of shape on the cold hard compound tyre goes Mintoki. Loses some time there. Fortunate not to lose any front wing as well as the time. Loses a second, but doesn't lose any part of the car, which is obviously very important. But yeah, you could see the lack of traction and the lack of grip on those cold, hard compound tyres as she came out of the pit lane then here on lap 11 out of 25. And that gap of 18.2 seconds, that might well have given Major Castleman the opportunity to get in and out of this pit lane and maintain the lead of this race. We'll see him react, no doubt. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to dip into the pits. Yeah, here he comes into the pits then. Fate Mano will take up the lead of the race, but he will come under pressure from Gwenfro. Gwenfro dips into the pits as well. Happy like pies. Does not. So Happy Like Pies does not. Major Castleman dips into the pits. Let's get on board with Mintoki then. She does indeed come down this long home straight and will take up the provisional lead of the race. Well, I say provisional lead of the race. We've obviously got a lot of work to do for some of the guys here. Major Castleman just coming out of the pits now. He's going to get better traction as they come together on the pit exit. But Major Castleman gets back out in front. That mistake from Mintoki at the beginning of the outlap on those fresh hard compound tyres has meant that Major Castleman comes back out and retains the lead. I say the lead of this race. We do, of course, have lots of cars who've already pitted. The gap is substantial. The only car not to pit at the minute is Happy Like Pies. In the kickstand, we're currently sat P4 there, by the way. Jay, Sharky and Fake Mano all having pitted. Fake Mano could well be in for a race victory here. Does have a 3-second penalty, of course. But can he, over the course of the next 13 or 14 laps, get himself to a point where he's got a big enough gap to cover off Sharky? As Sketchy picks up 3 seconds. Fake Mano then in the V-Carb. Look what kind of day it's turned out to be for V-Carb as well. With P1 and P3 on this lap 12 of 25. He'll start lap 13. Still leading this race. And we'll have Jay making it a 1-2 for V-Carb currently in the classifications. Mr. Titan makes a move on edge. Mintoki does indeed get past Mr. Castleman, Major Castleman. But these two now no longer the favourites for this race, I wouldn't have thought. 14 seconds off the front. Fake Mano would have to give up a second a lap. He's pulled 2 or 3 tenths extra on Jay. Gap 2.6 seconds then. Jay, are the V-Carbs free to race? That's what I want to know. Because if Jay can get himself up to a little bit closer. He still obviously, as it currently stands, he still would win this race. But, of course, we're only at half race distance. Sharky managing to stick with him. The gap between the two, only 4 tenths. And, of course, with that DRS, both here and going down the home straight, may well find himself in with a shot of taking P2, the Ferrari. Doesn't look like he's going to be close enough. Will he make a late move? He looks to try and make a move. Plenty of room left there by Jay, so well done him. Oh, this is not looking good into turn 4, and absolutely Sharky thinks better of it and backs out to let the V-Carb of Jay take turn 4 in P2. 3.5 seconds that gap then. So that all the while that Jay and Sharky battle it out for P2, Fake Mano's managed to extend the gap between himself and his teammate to 3.6 seconds, meaning as long as he doesn't pick up any penalties, he will win this race. If you've only just arrived, the big news, the big talking point is that Freddie Rozelle, the man that was chasing down Major Castleman for the world title here in Tier 2 Moose Racing League, DNF'd on lap 1 due to some connectivity issues, which means that Major Castleman's currently sat in P7, is the world champion. And that also meant that before Rich Sebi DNF'd on lap number 4, what that meant, it meant that the Constructors title goes to Alpine. Here comes Sharky then. Can Sharky make a move? Tiny little bit closer than he was at the end of the previous lap. DRS looks like he's going to get the move done this time on the outside of the V-Carb, trying to take a more defensive line this time, Jay, but ultimately the Ferrari of Sharky gets the job done. And a couple more overtakes happening. Titan into turn 1, gets past Edge, and Mintoki and Major Castleman still battling it out here. 3/10 that gap. And they've got a little bit of work to do. Oh, Mintoki, another mistake. And 3 seconds to Mintoki. That puts her on an even keel with Major Castleman then. They both have 3 seconds. So again, problems at turn number 4, this time for McLaren. Not as terminal as it was for the Red Bull of Rich Sebi, though, earlier on in the race. They're closing in quite nicely on the back of Edge and Mr. Titan. And they'll find themselves getting to a point where they'll have to navigate through these two guys. Now, if they're going to challenge for the race win, they've got a lot of work to do. Oh, the McLaren almost gets into the back of the Mercedes, which means that now Mintoki is going to come under pressure from Major Castleman. Major Castleman will get the move done on the inside there. They're on that long turn, number 26. But they'll both be closer to the rear of Edge and Mr. Titan then. Mr. Titan, 7 seconds off the back of Happy. Happy yet to pit, of course. Jay picks up 3 seconds as well, so penalties all round for the V-Carbs. Edge is going to manage to keep in. Oh, a little bit of sideways movement there for Mintoki. Major Castleman almost got the job done on Mr. Titan at turn 2, but does get it on the exit of turn 3. Into turn 4 they go then for the 16th time. Major Castleman did have a little bit of a buffer there to Mintoki, but Mintoki has managed to get past Mr. Titan as well, and now Edge is the champagne cork in the bottle. Will they get past the champagne cork here, going into the long left-hander? He's going to go try and go all the way around the outside here, Major Castleman. Will he get a good enough exit? A little bit of a wobbly back end from the Mercedes means that Major Castleman does indeed get himself through and has a gap between himself and Mintoki now. Mintoki will be looking to try and make this move happen, though, on Edge, down towards the other quick left-hander as they come through Sector 2. Mintoki gets the job done early doors, which means now she'll be free to try and chase down that 5/10 gap to Major Castleman again. We'll be dragging Edge along with her, though. Checking up back out in front, Jay's fallen out of the DRS of Sharky. So Sharky now will be able to focus on the job at hand. The Ferrari man will be looking at the V-Carb behind him briefly, but will now be focusing his energy on the V-Carb out in front. A 3.7 second gap. Tyres of the same age. Happy Like Pies does indeed pit and throws on the soft tyre to run the last 8 or 9 laps on the soft compound tyre. Try and steal himself a fastest lap point as well, currently held by Sketchy Bull, I believe. Can Sharky find that 7/10 to try and take this race win? The Ferrari just about managing to keep Jay at bay. Jay managing to get himself here and there back within DRS. But we'll see from here at the detection point. As they go through the detection point, Jay will have DRS now, so Sharky will have to keep focusing his energy not only on trying to close that gap out in front to Fake Mano, but also the gap to Jay. With Major Castleman now and Mintoki, let's just take a quick look at the gap to the leader. So that Major Castleman gap, Major Castleman's dropped Mintoki as well, by the way. So real struggling McLaren on those fresh tyres. Major Castleman not so. Major Castleman 11.5 seconds off the lead of this race. Same number of penalties as the guys out in front. So he'll be looking to try and clear Sharky. Sharky just dropping off the back of Fake Mano by an extra half a second. So this race is coming to Major Castleman as Edge gets past Mintoki now. The race is coming to Major Castleman. 11.6 seconds. Not many laps remaining though. Will the Alpine run out of laps? Sharky, having dropped Jay out of DRS a couple of laps ago, really does now have that V-Carb for company again. Fake Mano comfortable by 1.2 seconds out in front with that 3-second penalty that he holds. All it takes around this circuit, though, as we know, is one little mistake and everything can change. We've only had the one safety car very early doors. Managed to navigate ourselves through another 13 laps without a safety car. 13 or 14 laps, indeed, without a safety car. Major Castleman is reeling in J, though. 6.2 seconds now. Taking nearly a second out of it in this lap alone. Sharky will come under pressure into turn 1 here from that V-carb of J. No doubt, yes. J pulls out off into the inside. Gets the job done nice and early. And Sharky will now be relegated down into P3 on track. But P2 with penalties should the race finish right now. Mintoki up into P5, but 3 seconds off the back of Major Castleman now. Major Castleman's got the gap down to 6 seconds. Happy like pies we talked about. Oh! Sharky, big mistake that from the Ferrari. Gets on the curb. Loses control of the car. Does well to keep it out of the wall, though. If it's going to happen at any point on the track, that was probably a good point for it to happen. Manages to keep it out of the wall, but drops 1.7 seconds off the back of Jay. So now Jay's got an opportunity to try and boost that gap to try and retain P2. Got to find himself another 1.3 seconds. Major Castleman under 5 seconds behind Sharky now due to that mistake. Made up a second. What's the gap to the leader? 10.7 seconds, the gap to the leader. Lots to do on this remaining 7 laps then for Major Castleman if he's going to take this win. Has shown an incredible amount of pace over the course of this season. He's been fantastic. That safety car graphic is tripping me out. Mate, honestly, Mr. Testarossa, I would love for that to just manage to disappear. That would be brilliant. But it isn't going to happen. Favourite then for this race at this present moment in time has to be Fake Mano. 6 laps remaining then of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Round 10, the final round of the Moose Racing League calendar here in Season 12. And it looks like a V-Carb 1-2 at this moment in time. If Sharky drops 3 seconds behind Jay. And let's not forget, Sharky will have picked up a couple of warnings. That'll be another warning for Fake Mano, by the way. He doesn't want to get too many more of those. Sharky will have picked up warnings, no doubt. And as well as picking up warnings, he's picking up pace. Knocks half a second off the gap between himself and Jay there. Kind of trying to get himself back up into DRS range. But plenty of gaps forming between all the drivers now. Quite the gap across the whole field. Nobody in DRS, which I think that's probably the first time we've said that this season, that there is not one single car in the DRS of another car here in Tier 2. Lap 20 or 25 then. And it's all down to the 2 V-Carbs out in front. Fake Mano leading the way. Those hard tyres will have plenty of life left in them yet, that's for sure. They are 16 laps old, about to be 17 laps old. There'll be plenty of time left in those tyres. And, you know, the gap of 4.4 seconds. He's got more than a 1.4 second buffer, of course, because his teammate in Jay has also got a 3 second penalty. Jay now managing to put that gap to over 2 seconds to the Ferrari. Needs another 8/10 then over the remaining few laps that we've got here to secure P2. Oh, and yet again Sharky gets all out of shape coming through the end of Sector 1. And that gap grows to 2.3 seconds. We do have somebody in DRS, and it's Gwenfro. Gwenfro's on the back of Mintoki then. So Mintoki will come under pressure as they go around this long left-hander. Seems to have a lot more grip there on the inside, does Gwenfro. So they'll go through this quick right, then left, and then Gwenfro will be on the charge. He's going to have DRS, and look how much more grip he's got. more pace, more grip, gets the job done. The rear wings open, and through goes Gwenfro. Up into P5, 5.1 seconds now, though, off the back of Major Castleman as Mintoki picks up her next penalty. That is 6 seconds now for the McLaren, and she will tumble down the standings. I say tumble, she got a P7, because, of course, Sketchy's got 6 seconds as well. Ooh, Gwenfro getting a little bit out of shape there. And look at this, then. Sharky now, 3.2 seconds. The gap to Jay. And seems to be struggling for grip, the Ferrari. So much so that now with Jay 3.7, 3.8 seconds down the road. Oh, Sharky again. More mistakes. And look at Major Castleman here. Major Castleman in the Alpine will be looking to get the job done on Sharky very soon, I would imagine. That gap has just evaporated over the course of the last 2 or 3 laps with multiple mistakes from the Ferrari and some majestic pace from the Alpine. That pace that we've seen for the majority of this season. And we'll get through this left and right-hander, and then we will see the right and left-hander, should I say, and then we'll see the pace. There it is. There is the pace from Major Castleman. He will get the job done nice and easy before DRS is even active. And he will race down. And he's now got a 3.5 second gap to Jay. Can he catch the Alpine? Can the Alpine catch the 2 V-carbs? Not long left of this race. Fake Mano about to start lap number 23. 3.2 seconds the gap then. Can Major Castleman split these 2 V-carbs? That will be the question that we've got to ask ourselves on the final throwings here in Tier 2 for season number 12. It's been a wonderful season. We've had a great title battle all the way through until lap number 1 here when Freddie unfortunately disconnected and DNF'd. Well, Fake Mano looks like he's home and hosed. 4.4 seconds in front of his teammate, who's going to come under pressure on that final lap from Major Castleman, we would imagine. Mintoki must have gone into the pits. Yeah, fresh tyres for Mintoki. Gone into the pit lane. Tried to throw on the soft tyre there at the end to try and steal that fastest lap point. Pretty sure with those soft tyres on, she will do just that as well, pending any potential mistakes. We have, of course, seen plenty of mistakes here so far. Still got 10 drivers in the race, though. That's what we like to see, and it's 4.5 seconds the gap between Jay and Fake Mano. Major Castleman, though, reeling in the V-carb of Jay. So Major Castleman, 1.8 seconds. He's managed to drop Sharky out of DRS as well. So that's a 1.6 second gap then now. So lap 24, we should see the gap come down below 1 second at some point during this lap. There's Major Castleman bottoms out there going through turn number 1. Or turn number 2, should I say. There it is, Mintoki, 129.2 on the fresh rubber. The fresh, soft rubber. That's Mintoki's point right there. Sketchy Bull currently sat in P6. Interesting to see, actually, if Sketchy, on those 18-lap-old medium tyres, he's taken those quite a long way. Wouldn't imagine them to last too much longer. Major Castleman is going to get in DRS for the final lap. You would think. And he's in DRS now. As he goes through the detection point, he's got DRS on Jay. So it might be that he gets the job done. And that's half a second is down to. That's incredible from the Alpine. We said he'd make the overtake on lap number 25. You might get the overtake done before the start of lap 25, the final lap. As the timing line doesn't get the job done before, but gets the job done before turn number 1. And actually, Jay just moved off to the inside there to let him through. But it'll be Fake Mano then starting this, the final lap of Season 12 in Tier 2 at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Will start the lap in the lead of the race. Has got a nice 4-second buffer cushion back to Major Castleman, the world champion, in P2. And as much as that gap will come down, it won't come down enough to prevent Fake Mano from winning this race unless something untoward happens to the V-Carb on this, the final lap of the season. We've had such a great season here in Tier 2 at Moose Racing League. It's been so much fun to commentate on and watch each and every single week. And I just want to say thank you as we do watch this final lap from Fake Mano. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's come through and taken time to spectate and taken the time to race. Hopefully we'll get more cars involved next season and we'll have some full grids. It's disappointing when we don't have full grids, but I want to say thank you to everybody that's taken the time to come in and race with us this year and come in and view the races as well. It is most appreciated. P2 and P3 battle. Yeah, we do have a battle, mate. We do, but Major Castleman does have the pace to burn and will win the World Championship. Fake Mano wins the race. Major Castleman P2, JP3. Sharky will come through in P4. Guenfro will look to finish in P5. Good finish for the Mercedes. Sketchy Bull will be accompanied over the line by Edge and relegated down into P7 as Edge takes P6. Happy Like Pies and Mr. Titan will finish P8 and 9. Depending on what the penalty is for Mintoki, she will pick up P10. And there you go, and there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from Tier 2. We've got ourselves a world champion, and it's Major Castleman in the Alpine that takes the world championship. But driver of the day and race winner here at Saudi Arabia, it is indeed Fake Mano. Well done to Fake Mano. Good to see a new winner, and what a celebration that is as well from Fake Mano. I'll take it 20 laps on mediums. Absolutely sketchy. They must have been screaming at you at the end. But well done, everybody. Super stuff. What a wonderful season we've had here in Tier 2. We've crowned a worthy champion. Unfortunate circumstances in terms of the Red Bull this evening of Freddie Rozelle, of course, disconnecting and having a problem on lap number 1. But your world champion is Major Castleman. That is a wrap for Tier 2. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's just take a look and reminder for the race. Fastest lap does indeed go to Mintoki. You can see with the 29.2. But Fake Mano winning from 11th on the grid. Well done. Major Castleman, the world champion in P2. JP3. P4 is the Ferrari of Sharky. Then the two Mercedes flying in formation. Guenfro and Edge 5 and 6. Sketchy Bull in P7. Alpine claiming the Constructors title as well tonight. Then two Kick Saubers flying in formation as well in Happy Like Pies and Mr. Titan. Mintoki in the McLaren. And then, of course, the two DNFs, the two Red Bulls in P11 and P12. So there you go. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your lot for this evening. Massively anticlimactic moment here. Definitely not something we wanted to see. We wanted to see a battle to the end. Just have a quick look in the Discord, guys. 1 second. Turn 3 is a killer. Turn 4 is a killer. Yeah, well done, everybody. That is fantastic stuff. That's it. Tier 2 is done and dusted for yet another season. Major Castleman's the champion. Alpine are the Constructors champions. We will head into into season 13. There'll be new faces. There'll be new challenges. There'll be new tracks. And I guess the final thing from me, I just want to say thank you so much to every single one of you that's come, tuned in, and raced with us this season. It really has been an absolute pleasure to call some of these wonderful races, and I can't wait to get stuck into season 13. But I would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope you have a magnificent festive period and you can enjoy with your friends and your family. For those of you that can't enjoy with friends and family, feel free to dip into the Moose Racing League community over the course of the festive period. There's always people here to talk to if you need somebody to speak to. But from me, I just want to say thank you so much indeed for being a part of this community. It fills me with joy every single weekend, and I hope it does you too. On that note, please take care. Enjoy yourselves over the festive period. Give your loved ones a massive, great big hug. And I'll see you again for Season 13 for Moose Racing League. Take care. Love you very much.